All right, sorry about that. Could you please state your name and the seat you're applying for?
My name is Christopher Webb, and I'm applying for the sophomore Senate position.
Alrighty. You'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying to the Student Senate?
So my motivation to apply to the Student Senate is making sure that my constituents' voices would be heard. So as like a freshman student that is sophomore by credit, like a lot of us are like just getting into the school, and like a lot of us don't understand that like how impactful their voice is, and like how important it is, like what their opinions are. And so I would like to make sure that all of my constituents' voices are heard, and make sure that their opinions do matter, and they can make actual change on this campus. And also, I just want to make a lasting impact on this campus that lasts even longer than what I'm here for. Like my time here may not last very long, like I may even not be here as I graduate, but I want to make a lasting impact on this campus.
All right. Your next question is, what experience do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So I've worked a lot over this past year on different committees, such as with the Southeastern Regional Conference organized by SACE. And so with that, I was a part of our finance committee, I was reaching out to different organizations, helping to get sponsorships for our event that we were organizing. And that way I've gained a lot of experience like working with my peers in that position, but also reaching out to various people outside of our organization. And also I was a part of our programming for Barrio, which is a FSA event. And just overall, these experiences have allowed me to just like collaborate with others. And
Perfect. Your third question, what are some ideas that you have?
So my major idea that I'd like to implement is just, I'd like to see just overall improved Wi-Fi access for students across the campus. As someone that like lives in a dorm, it's something that like my peers have brought up to me, that their access to Wi-Fi is not as good as they would like, and they've also experienced like outages. And as a freshman also, looking at internship opportunities is already something that's very important to me. And I know it's something that's also important for my peers that are also like in engineering fields or in science and like STEM related fields overall. And so I would like to create like a platform that allows students to access different internship opportunities, just like as a resource page, like linked to the Career Connection Center.
All right, perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
I'm good.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys.
Have a great rest of your day.
Hey, morning, welcome in.
I brought in an idea sheet and resume. I don't know if you guys...
Perfect.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate that.
All right, do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
I'm Alexa Trower, or Lexi, and I'm applying for the sophomore seat.
All right. Lexi, you'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Just have a few questions. First being, what is your motivation for applying to the Student Senate?
So I've always been interested in Senate because my high school didn't really have a lot of student government opportunities, but it's always been something that I wanted to get involved in. And I did campaign over the spring semester, and it really just kind of reaffirmed the fact that I wanted to be a part of Senate, because the people that I met and the impact that they were able to make was something that really motivated me, and I wanted to be able to be a part of that.
Your next question is, what experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So I think that my experience on the Pan-Hellenic Activities Directors Board would make me a proper fit for this position, because it really enabled me to learn how to work with the team and understand that it's not just me in a leadership position. I need to learn how to collaborate with like other people. I really learned how to communicate, especially. It was difficult at times because we had to plan a lot of service events, but I learned that I needed to collaborate and really focus on trying to hear other people out instead of just listening to my own perspective.
Perfect. What experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position? Oh,
You just asked us the ideas.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What ideas do you have?
So on my idea sheet, I know one of the biggest things that I mentioned was more mental health opportunities. I know that coming to the University of Florida as an out-of-state student, I really struggled with this because I was so far from home and it was such a new experience. But I really think that making more of these mental health opportunities accessible to students would be a great idea, considering there's a lot of students who went through the same experience. And I know that we do have some of these opportunities on campus right now, but I think making more of them would be definitely a better idea. I also mentioned things like a service day because I have wanted to volunteer on campus, but haven't really found the number of opportunities that I want to see. So I think that Senate being able to advertise some sort of service event where students could come in and either like clean up the community or help a local business or organization would be really beneficial.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
No, I do not.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's Alexander Peterson.
The next is Alexander Peterson at 10.
And then wait.
Is he a phone call?
Yeah, he's a phone interview. I'll call him at 10:45 for 3 minutes.
I just my phone might die soon. Can someone for the audio record?
Can someone do what?
Oh wait, no. I was gonna see if there was. Connor, what percentage of your phone? Or try.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
I just wanna for the audio because my phone might die soon.
Yeah, it's alright.
Thanks.
So then,
This is like the nice paper too.
Yeah, it's so nice. Card stuff.
Yeah.
Too good.
Dude, this is so funny. Because it was I'm gonna tell you to say that Kobe if you're not there. You owe me 20. I got you.
It's just like, no, we're not doing it. Look at this. Did you see? I said, can anyone come? And then the first like 7 people all said no. I was like, damn.
Well,
okay.
Oh, well, Lindsay, the first person did do it for the first text at least.
Cole's in Alabama. I'm with controller.
Why is he there?
To get brother out of bed.
Oh, that's kind of fire. Hey. No, we're not having it.
No, just... Dude, yesterday was so funny. I sent the thing of like, everyone congrats Aaron for the whole thing, and no one replied. And Aaron was like, it wasn't funny, bro.
It wasn't funny.
I thought it was kind of funny. It's like, okay.
You had me confused for a second. I was like, he's not getting
He
it.
just said, lol. So funny. I got class clown.
self-proclaimed class
I
clown.
swear they needed it by bro.
All right, we're gonna call Alexander Peterson now.
We're just gonna go.
Hello, is this Alexander?
Yes, it is.
Hi, you're on speaker with the Replacement and Agenda Committee. You will have just a few questions for you. You'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what is your motivation for applying to the Student Senate?
When it comes to Student Senate, I believe it's the most effective way to enact meaningful change on campus while, being able to have your own personalized individualism per se when it comes to that change. There are very few governing bodies at any university that allow students to invest millions of dollars into the actual university. And while obviously the majority of that goes to the rights, goes to services that can't be really touched, there are still projects that can be worth thousands of dollars that I really think that can change and better the student body. And I believe Student Senate is the way to do that.
Perfect. Next question is, what are some experiences that you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So, back in my senior year of high school, I was part of the Florida High School Student FHA, which is the sports governing body of the entire state, high school-wise. I was part of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, which they helped oversee and write legislation for the entirety of the state when it comes to athletic matters. They helped write legislation, they helped oversee it, and we were often an advising committee to see how students really felt about certain laws that they were trying to write. I have experience navigating parliamentary procedure because of it. I have experience navigating different personalities inside a committee and to try and, make sure that all points are heard, make sure that people are, being addressed, or every point is being addressed no matter what. And I think that's probably my best experience when it comes to it, because while there is high school student government, I believe that this committee was a lot bigger than that. This is something that applied to the entire state. There was at least, I think, when it came to it, 10 different code changes or 10 different, bylaws that were changed as well when it came to this committee while I was on it. So I do believe that does, count as really important. So.
All right. Final question. What are some ideas that you have?
So one of the things that I noticed when I go into the Senate is there is a lot of, it can be very divided. And I do think that can have its positives. I do believe conflict is necessary in any healthy relationship, but I do believe that there's a point in which it goes too far into the point where it is unproductive. I think that trying to ease this by saying maybe having more, Senate socials or just student government socials in general, where people on both sides of the aisle can really communicate and, just talk with each other, because that humanizes people. And people in Senate, you hear it in device speeches all the time where they're trying to humanize themselves, but I really want this humanization to happen earlier, because then, in my opinion, it'll create a much more productive Senate. And I also, that's just my biggest one.
Perfect. Are there any questions that you have for us?
None at all.
Perfect. You have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, too.
Is Matthew phone or?
What did you say?
Is Matthew phone or?
No, Matthew's not.
Call.
So wait, we decided to not ask how many credits they have?
Oh, no, I think you could. Maybe just be aware that the one you have to subtract what you currently take.
Yeah. We'll give them the.
I saw someone down there.
I got it.
Maybe. Yeah.
Whoa. This is fire. It's a freaking act. Big act. This shit is Mary Poppins. Yes.
What is it?
I don't know. It's that I'm literally Mary Poppins. I will pull random things out of here. To the point that I don't know where it comes from. Actually, maybe. Do you want a Celsius? I don't know where it came from.
Hello.
Maybe it's fall back in my bag.
Appreciate it. First time action.
Do you mind stating your name and the seat you applied for?
Sure. Matthew Bravo for Liberal Arts and Sciences and Sophomore.
And then quick clarifying question. So, subtracting like the credits that you're currently taking, how many credits have you completed?
I've completed 59. So I guess Liberal Arts and Sciences would be valid.
So it's okay. So you're interviewing for the sophomore seat.
That
Okay.
is so short. Oh, 60. Okay,
Yeah.
you're right.
One short of the cut.
Apologies.
No worries. You're not the only one. All right. You'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what's your motivation for applying?
It's really my grandmother. You know, she was the person who inspired me to get into public service of any kind. She had struggles dealing with public servants when she immigrated here, whether it be getting a visa, a green card, dealing with Medicaid or things like that. So she was always the person who inspired me to go into the work of government or just helping people.
Perfect. What are some experiences that you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Well, I think my experience as freshman class president this year through class councils. I've been a Florida Cicerone, a preview staffer. I've worked in the freshman leadership experience, which is funded by the student government, and freshman leadership council. I think those have all added to my growth as a leader and my knowledge of the campus and its issues overall. I think my commitment to representation has been shown through the fact that I was an ambassador to my party in the previous fall, and then moved up to director of ambassadors in the spring, tabling over 20 hours in each of those 24 election day hour campaigns. And so I think that just shows I'm committed to my community, to representing the student body. My commitment to public service and community-driven organizations has been shown through things like Big Event, Gator Growl, and Homecoming, both of which I'm a part of this year, as well as being a scholarship director in my fraternity.
Your final question, what are some ideas that you have?
I think the biggest thing I would propose is a different change to the student org funding system that we currently have. A lot of student leaders I've talked to want to address how it's on a first-come, first-served basis. And they think that this can be changed through a variety of different options, whether it's having a committee of budget and finance experts who goes over these requests, or whatever that may be. So I'd just like to introduce a case study to create that and show it to the Senate and see what we may be able to do about that.
Perfect. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
That'd be all. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
It has hints of sage and juniper.
Want to borrow that?
Huh?
Want to borrow it? I see.
Yeah. It's like fucking eyes. I don't like it. So fun.
Oh, it makes more sense to smell. It's really
Yeah, I don't really smell.
Oh, at the end of the meeting, or during, when we're adding to the agenda, well, I guess this won't be in the agenda, but I was just saying, before I make the agenda, I have to go through and see everyone's form and see what seats are open for summer A, which are for summer B, which are for summer C, because all those have to be announced.
Also, I'm hoping, I was gonna ask you, but, Chairman Levi wanted to host a quick legislative workshop session. He asked to add to the agenda.
I think that's just committee report, is it not?
Well, he just asked and saw like if that, he wanted to ask and see if like if that would go on his report, does it have to be specifically on the agenda?
I think that goes under his report.
Okay, go.
Another question.
Could you say?
I'm sorry.
Oh,
You
can
go
you
first.
repeat what you said about summer replacements?
No, it just,
It's like, no, I actually am not gonna repeat them.
I just have a headache, that's really just
Oh,
what it is.
okay, so we're not
I
doing
was just
anything.
complaining. We don't have to add anything. I just have to
You
manually go through every response in the
Before
form
you
and
send out, okay.
manually organize
Okay.
what seats are open for summer A, what's open for summer B, what's open for summer C, what's permanently open, and
Okay.
distinguish all of them and put them on the agenda.
Sounds good.
And I have a lot of other stuff to go on, so it's gonna be a rough 36 hours for me.
Good luck.
We can do it.
36? Why 36?
I have
Wait,
other
what's the
things going on.
process? So you have
I have other things going on.
to, wait, so you have to figure out based
That's why
on the
it's
forms
36.
what's open,
Yeah,
and then what?
and then put it on the agenda and like announce
Go
it
on
and
like
send it.
Excel.
I know, that's what I'm cooking on.
Okay.
I just have a lot more than that. That's just like number 4 to the headache list. That's the only reason it's that
Also, a
bad.
question: if someone is to get in here as an open permanent, would they have the ability to name a replacement for summer? No. Because technically they got it before the end of the
Well, what's weird is technically the legislative session would be over because we would have finished.
Oh,
our
we literally
last-
would have approved them by the last day.
So then.
I'd allow it. I think that's fair.
How long would they have? How would that work?
I-
The Senate has to approve it, their replacement.
Oh wait. Well, Senate would just approve. Senate would be able to vote on their replacement in the next meeting, just like as if we would treat it as if their replacement came into RNA, interviewed for it, and got it.
No,
So
but
at that
we would
first
only
Senate meeting,
approve
it
the
would get on the.
candidate.
I don't think that people who come in get a summer, like, later than after we approve the summer placements get a summer replacement, which I also
You know,
thought was weird. but-
Here's what I'll say. I will check the codes, and once I have that information, I will contact the people who get approved
Okay.
and let them know they have that option
Or not.
or not.
'Cause I just don't know how we'd approve their replacement, because we'd be approving them in the last meeting of the term.
Well, like, they're saying we can't
I'll
do
just
it.
I have to check the codes because I don't want to say I'm going to do something and then it not be by the codes.
Oh.
Okay,
Next
wait.
last meeting.
I'm going to call Rhea.
Okay.
That's how I say it.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Pear is goated.
That's what I said. That's exactly what I said.
So good.
Hello?
Hello, is this Rhea?
Hi, yes, this is.
Hi, you're on speakerphone with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
Yes.
Quick question before you start. Excluding the credits that you're currently taking, do you know how many credits you currently have?
Yes, I believe I have. Are these? I'm a sophomore standing. Is this including credits that I brought in with me as well?
Yes.
Yes. I believe I have 48.
Okay, perfect. So you'll be interviewing for the sophomore seat.
Great, thank you.
All right, sorry about that. Just a quick clerical question. All right, you'll now have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Just a few questions for you. The first one being, what motivates you to apply for this position?
Yeah, so since coming to UF, I've been very motivated to get involved with student government because I've seen the change that it's been able to make. Just through many initiatives I've seen, such as Mars Day becoming 24/7, as well as the efforts I've seen around things like the You Belong Here campaign, and, you know, bills written by both sides. I've just been very motivated to be one of the senators that can be able to do that. Also, I have attended Senate. I've worked with current senators, and I've learned how to write legislation and how the process of getting legislation approved works, which has been an amazing experience and just makes me want to be able to do that for the community at UF.
All right, your next question will be, what experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, for sure. So before coming to UF, I was heavily involved in student government at my high school. I worked in student government as well as other governmental organizations like Junior Statesmen of America, Mock Trial, and Model UN. And then since coming to UF, like I said, I've also gotten involved in student government here, learning to write legislation, coming to Senate, working with senators, and I've also ran for Senate twice, both in fall 23 and then spring 24, which has given me insight into how the election process works and how I would be able to make change as a senator.
All right. Your final question is, what are some ideas that you have?
Yeah, for sure. So, again, running for Senate has allowed me to kind of flesh out with some platform points I would be passionate about ours. So I'm very passionate about transportation on campus. So I'd like to work with TAPS and SNAP for safer and more accessible transportation, especially on game days. I'd also like to improve transparency about construction projects, both on and off campus, so I can provide resources for students affected by construction delays. And also I'm very passionate about food insecurity. So I'd like to combat food insecurity, maybe hosting registration sessions for students interested in things like SNAP and WIC. But also, specifically for the sophomore standing, I'd like to establish underclassmen career fairs for new UF students so they can gain shadowing and mentorship experience. And also I'd like to, going along with the food insecurity and food options, I'd like to advocate for greater vegan, halal, and kosher meal options in all dining halls and markets on campus.
All right, do you have any questions for us?
I don't think so.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Bye.
All right, does anyone want to go get Jack?
Thank you, Connor. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, sorry, I thought you guys were waiting
No,
on me.
no, no,
No,
worries.
all good.
You said it. Please refer to things you heard.
You'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Oh, could you state your name and the seat you're applying for?
Jack Fry, and I'm applying for the CLAS seat.
Perfect. You'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is going to be, what motivates you to apply for this position?
So what motivates me to apply for the Senate is because I've always been a part of leadership positions in the past in high school, whether you're for officers for a club or for just involvement in clubs in general. And I've also seen a few close colleagues of mine get involved with the Senate and do a lot of good within that. And I've seen them better themselves and things like that. And I wanted to join because I've been looking for a way to make a difference in students' lives on campus. And I also wanted to find a higher tier of leadership involvement in UF. And I was looking to get more involved myself. And so I figured the Senate would be an excellent opportunity to further my skill set and become smarter in the way I want to while bettering students' lives in the process.
Perfect. Your next question, what experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So previously mentioned, I've been involved in a bunch of clubs in high school. I've received a lot of leadership positions with that, bless you. And I believe that's helped me work as a group very well. That way I could work as a group with Senate, trying to make things happen in there. Also, I'm currently working as a server for Olive Garden, which allows me to need to anticipate the needs of the people I'm serving and the people that I'm presenting food for. And I feel like that's helped me not only work as a team for Olive Garden, but also be able to understand what needs need to be predicted and how I can account for this person to give them what they need for them to have a good experience. And I feel like I could take some of that experience and translate it into Senate capabilities at UF.
And what are some ideas you have?
So I'm a member of CLAS, and I'm sure all of you know this already, but it's like super, super diverse and a super big college. And I feel like one thing that could be really, really good for CLAS students is some sort of a welcome event that could allow students to not only connect with other people within their own college, but also maybe find more guidance, since it's such a diverse college already and they may not entirely be sure where they want to go. We could also go as far as to invite alumni from this college previously, and that could be an opportunity for them to look for mentees as well as possible networking opportunities for CLAS students. And I feel like that would be an excellent way to make the college united as a whole as far as CLAS goes. Another event would be, I feel like through my years at UF, one thing that I've struggled with a little bit is advising for CLAS, because once again it's such a diverse field. It's hard to have advisors for like every little path that people want to take, and I feel like better CLAS advising would be very beneficial for students in finding out exactly what they want to do in class. And finally, one other event I thought of is, I understand diversity is a little bit of a tough spot in Florida right now, and I feel like for UF, once again, CLAS is such a diverse college, and I feel like every voice needs to be heard no matter what their background is, and I feel like more emphasis on diversity and inclusion would be good, possibly an event for that, to make sure all students feel welcome and everyone feels heard.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us? Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. You guys have a good one.
Hi, Hannah. This is Blake.
Hey, how are you?
You're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
Yep, sounds good.
Perfect. Do you mind stating your name and what you're applying for?
Yeah, Hannah Ali, and applying for College of Liberal Arts and Sciences.
Perfect. Great. You'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is what motivates you to apply for the Student Senate?
So I served as a replacement senator back in summer 2022, and it kind of lasted all my term when I won my seat for District D in fall of 2022. So since basically fall of 2022 to up to like end of spring 2023, I was a senator. So I was a senator for like about a year and 8 months-ish. So in my time, I just wrote a lot of legislation, and like I kind of am motivated to apply again just to write more legislation and continue the work that I was doing. So that's probably the main things.
All right. Your next question. What experiences do you have that make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so prior to literally to Senate, I've also served as a student leader for VISA, which is Volunteers of International Student Affairs. That is just a kind of was a former Big Nine organization, so I kind of saw how the funding model was, and I really just wanted to be able to, as a student leader, kind of fix the funding model in my experience in Senate. So that kind of also motivated me to also go to Senate. So those are like the two main experiences I have. Also did ISA, which is also like a larger org. It's not a Big Nine, but I was also involved in ISA as a member. And I also do undergraduate research, so I think that a lot of like Senate, like a lot of funding and what can help within Senate can also help towards undergraduate research as well. And so those are like my main prior experiences.
All right. What ideas do you have?
So main ideas that I have is a mentor-mentee system within CLAS where mentor will be paired with mentees that are probably at least a year younger than them. So for example, freshman would be paired with sophomore would be paired with junior. I think this just kind of like eliminates a gap between like freshmen and seniors who have a lot more professional experience and freshmen who have maybe like imposter syndrome. I would feel inexperienced to be paired with like a senior mentor. So I think like this mentor-mentee system would like be able to eliminate that, and I think it would be a really good idea to have within CLAS. And some other ideas that I want to do is a CWC satellite office, so being able to provide CWC and Gatorwell services within the heart of campus, which is literally Charlington and like Marston area. So that way it's just more accessible for students that reside in that area or are like tabling or just even have classes in that area. And another idea that I also have is just putting in emergency contraceptive vending machines within Turlington as well. So I would say those are my three main ideas.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for the committee?
Nope, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Wish you have a great rest of your day.
You too, bye.
Next is Timor. I think that's how that is pronounced.
Tamor.
Timor. Alright. I'm glad I asked. So it's Timor. 30 more seconds. Hi, is this Timor?
Yes.
Hi, you're on speaker with the Replacement and Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your 5-minute interview?
Yes, I am.
Alrighty, you will have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Oh, wait, actually, could you state your name and the seat you're applying for?
Yes, my name is Sophomore, and I am applying for the CLAS seat.
Alrighty, you'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what motivates you to apply for this position?
Yeah, I'd say there's 2 reasons. The first reason is this, I guess, my respect for something like the Senate, or SG existing. I really enjoy the idea of there being an institution that isn't influenced by administration or the outside world. It's just the students, right? I think some people find a gripe with that because, like, why would you let students run such a large operation? But I think it's like such a great opportunity. It's one of the just not even being involved, but being able to witness it is like educational enough. But second, and I think it's my more like the larger driver is this is my I'm heading into my final year here at UF. I feel like I've seen enough that I've enjoyed about the campus, but there are a few small things that I just wish were there. So if I could just work towards making it so someone like me coming up in their freshman year can enjoy the stuff that I didn't get to enjoy, that's enough for me. So I'd say that's a pretty solid fit for me.
Alrighty, your next question is, what experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
I'd say you could probably take a standard job and break it down to 2 parts: writing bills and connecting with the constituents. When it comes to writing bills, a few of my friends have been senators. I've assisted them with some of the legislation, so I'm relatively familiar with how legislation is written and what makes solid legislation. But I think the more difficult part is connecting with your constituents, because especially if your class is such a vast and large thing. I'm an economics major. Astrology, biology, chemistry, they all fall under that. So it's like there's no solid tie to it. But even then, I'd say I have a lot of experience in that. I have lost 2 campaigns for Senate, but in those 2 campaigns, I've canvassed over 100 hours, and I've talked to essentially every sort of major within the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences, and I always talk with them, not in a sense of trying to get a political gain out of it, more so trying to understand how they see SG, what they think SG can do for them, and I try to explain to them how we can reach that goal. Also, as my time during I've been very involved in campus. I was TSA secretary, co-captain of the men's saber team, the fencing club, and I essentially had a chance to interact with, again, more constituents, people that you don't tend to see on campus often, right? Ranging from different walks of life, and you begin to learn what they need, how they want to see fit, and kind of how they learn, especially for the co-captain position, where I had to teach fencers how to fence. But my point is to say that I've been able to learn how to reach out and connect with people from all walks of life and all sorts of, majors.
Alright, your final question. What are some ideas that you have?
Yes. I don't know if you have access to this right now. I attached it to my application. It was on next to my resume. It's essentially an initiate. So if I could go over those real quick. Some of the ones I really enjoy are prayer mats in Marston. As a Muslim, currently in Marston, there is no prayer space. I know there's been some application for it to be built one there, but currently I think it's a smaller step in that direction. Allocating prayer materials for us to be prayer mats for Christians, Christians and people that are Jewish. Like there are other things, but I know for prayer mats, just having 3 or 4 of them in Marston, working with the provost, just allocate a couple of them that can be rented out, just like headphones, would be very beneficial, considering that a lot of Muslims pray in this corridor behind the basement where staff go by, and if they can avoid at least praying on the floor, which in Islam isn't really favored, they would love to. Another thing is As an economics major, I take a lot of classes in math at the hall. I don't know if you've been in it, but it's kind of dusty. There's a lack of a really functioning elevator. The bathrooms are on 2 different floors. Like the girls are on the first floor, the guys on the basement. There's no tissues, so when you see your body, it's kind of in a spot. And the outlets in the room. I think room 116.
That is your time. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you for interviewing.
Of course, you too.
All right. Wait, do you have any questions for us?
I guess, yeah, so I won't be here in summer. I understand that Tuesday is the last meeting.
Yes.
So if I were to get the seat, what happened? Would I just be assigned for one meeting?
No, what would happen is your seat would have a summer vacancy, but if you were approved, you would be able to come back in the fall.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
Of course. You have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Can I go see if David is out there? Connor? He's got a point with the dusty room. So
No tissues.
No, I had a class in summer in Fine Arts C. That was a rough one.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome in. Hello. How you doing today? Good.
Good, how are you?
Thank you. Of course.
Do you mind stating your name and the seat you're applying for?
Dean Stevens, and then the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences summer replacement seat.
Perfect. All right, you'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what motivates you to apply for this position?
Yeah, so obviously, like, student government politics are very visible on campus, and I'm a person who's just interested in like the political process and legislatures in general. So being able to kind of participate in it on a smaller scale just sounds really interesting to me. And also, it might be like fun, and I don't know, might be a good way to spend time in the summer.
Perfect. Your next question, what experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
So this semester and the last semester, I've been active on Chomp the Vote, which I think gives me a lot of experience on understanding some aspects of how student government functions, and in general, I just happen to know a little bit of how legislatures work, just by virtue of doing political science and just being interested in the subject.
Do you have any ideas?
Maybe implementing some kind of transfer student department or expanding resources for transfer students. I transferred in and was just kind of thrown into the deep end of UF, and I wish that there was more resources for transfers. Other than that, just generally just trying to give funding towards student orgs that apply for it.
Perfect. Do you have any questions for us?
Not that I can think of.
All right, you have a great rest of your day.
That was fast. Y'all have a good one. Have a good day.
The minutes got that. The
No,
recording.
Apply for open permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it would be summer and then after for like a year.
Yeah, he was like, it'd be fun for summer. I'm like, and the
And
fall.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Until now, next
Feel free to take a seat wherever. Yeah.
Do you mind stating your name and the seat you're applying for?
Marquise Ville for the Fishers or for the accountancy. I was going to say the college was
Full title. All right, yeah, you'll have 5 minutes whenever you'd like to begin. Your first question is, what's your motivation for applying?
My motivation for applying is, as a second-year accounting major, I'm inspired to improve the campus as well as continue to give back to my peers. I want to make sure that accounting students have their voices heard within student government, as well as to decrease the gap between the student body population and the student government, whether it's through writing legislation or through providing resolutions or even connecting with officials with the power to make decisions. I want to make sure that not only just accounting students, but all students have their voices, issues, and platforms heard within the student body population.
Perfect. What experiences do you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
I believe my diverse set of experiences within different organizations, involvements, and backgrounds have prepared me for this position. As a resident assistant within the Murphy area, I've been able to advocate for and serve 200 plus students within the area, doing different events and preparing different programs and initiatives to make sure that there are different there's different events that adjust and prepare for different students and make sure that the different events that there are things that they want. Along with this, I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, where I've really been developed as a leader, and recently I've been elected as the vice president. And through this, I've been able to promote academic excellence while providing service and advocacy for my communities. And this really has trained my interpersonal skills and has taught me the nitty-gritty of handling different personalities and make sure to help those different communities learn what they truly need. And also, as a chairperson membership of NABA, I've connected upcoming underrepresented business leaders within the school with different opportunities and resources they might not have known of, and I look forward to doing this on a grander scale with student government for not just accounting students, but all students in the University of Florida campus.
And what are some ideas that you have?
Some ideas I have is to make student government more transparent, open, and more efficient. So one of this is just having more workshops and seminars and panels where we have different student leaders come out, alumni come out to make sure different experiences, wisdom that may have been lost or just on different parts of campus are transferred, because usually, as it stands right now, accounting is a very niche major here at University of Florida, only hosting 600 students across the over 1,000 students we have here at University of Florida campus. I want to make sure the voices are heard, and they're not just limited to the accounting school. So with this, I think one main platform student government should take over is just connect them more with student government organizations and clubs to make sure, okay, these are what students actually need, these are what students actually want to see. And along with this, having more guidelines, more workshops to make sure these student leaders are trained to help these new and upcoming generation of leaders of Gators to make sure they know what it takes to be the best they can be. So along with this, I want to work alongside the budget committee, which is one of the problems that accounting organizations are facing. It's just SARs and just learning, doing a proper submission so that we can be properly funded. And along with this, I think one thing student government can do is to implement more student government feedback surveys and forums, so that way students can voice what they want to see in events, or what they gain from certain events, such as an impact, or what they want to see change for the better. So we can really say, okay, this is what students gave from this event, this is what we could have been done better, and this is what in the future can be changed to make sure that these students are having their different issues tackled and heard within the student government.
All right, thank you. Do you have any questions for us?
Yes. So when it comes to this process, I was wondering when was the process of hearing back, or the timeline for this?
So tomorrow early afternoon, you will either receive an email letting you know that you did not get the position, or you will receive an email with the upcoming Senate agenda, so that you'll know what will happen this upcoming Senate meeting.
Okay, perfect. And that's all I have for now. If there's any more questions, feel free to answer. And I would also like to thank each and every single one of y'all for your time for interviewing me today.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
You too.
We have one more interview.
Samin.
It's Samin.
It's Samin, right? Or Samin.
You can call him Fahim.
Oh,
I was gonna say,
That's
I think-
Fahim. I think that's just his legal name, but nobody calls him.
Okay,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
that makes a lot of sense.
Hello?
Hi, you're on speaker with the Replacement Agenda Committee. Are you ready for your interview?
Yes.
Alrighty, perfect. Do you mind stating your name and the seat you're applying for?
Fahim Islam, and I'm applying for the budget seat.
Alrighty, you will have 4 minutes whenever you'd like to begin, and then we'll move into technical questions. The first question is, what is your motivation for applying?
Thank you. Yeah, so there are two parts. I'll start with personal growth. Basically, with this committee, I am committed to tackling the complex challenges of, managing a $24 million budget, dealing with different interests of the student body and making tough decisions. And that goes hand in hand with me trying to increase my skills in analytical skills, leadership, teamwork, and so forth. The next part is vision. With that, I'm motivated to ensure that student fees are allocated in a manner that maximizes the benefits for all students. And doing so, that's corresponding to making, those thoughtful, informed decisions on those budget allocations.
Alright, your next question. What are some experiences you have that would make you a good fit for this position?
Yeah, so I'll list three. The first one is regarding, so I'm in engineering. One of my classes is material and energy balances. I have to work in teams, right? And one of the projects we worked on is a distillation column. Now, how does this correspond to budget? Now, I'll tell you this. So basically, when we dealt with this project, we had to draw what's called a process flow diagram, which is basically like a diagram of the system, right? And in doing so, we had to take into a lot of considerations on how to draw it, right? For example, environmental impacts, the size, and last but not least, cost. We have to make sure that we have the proper relationship between cost and, making sure we get the proper products out of it, the efficiency, the yield. And, in doing so, you can also talk about how this corresponds to soft skills, making sure that, everyone has different plans, different points of view. And, for me, the most important thing for me is that I want to bring out the best in everyone, right? In a committee of 9 people, I'm sure that we're not always going to be synergized. And, I want to be there to, understand where everyone's coming from, but also at the same time, making sure we're in sync. The next part is doing with fencing. Also, to add on to the soft skills aspect, I would say, when we go to tournaments, I have to deal with many different styles of play from my teammates when we do team events. Same thing there, I have to understand their styles of play, make sure that I bring out the best of them instead of bringing them down to me. And, I'm just doing what it takes to win, right? And last but not least, I want to bring up coding. As an engineer, I had to code many times. Python, for example, is one of them. And, with Python, the most important thing is having the attention to detail. When I deal with projects, yes, making one mistake with a syntax, like a semicolon, whatever, that can mess up the project. But that's not the big issue. The big issue is, let's say you have an error where you get the wrong product. In doing so, you have to look through hundreds of lines of code, right? And, for me, I have a knack for, looking at where the problem lies within, the code. I also forgot to mention, going back to my material energy balances class, we also have to use Excel to incorporate really advanced and complicated formulas into getting the desired answer.
All right, your final question. What are some ideas you have? And you have 40 seconds, by the way.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so ideas. First idea, I would like to have a workshop for senators, like all the senators in the chamber. What do I mean by workshop? By workshop, I mean maybe we can have, just like a presentation on what we do in budget. I do think that not all the senators have a proper understanding what we do in budget. There are multiple ways to go at this. Maybe we could bring this up as Senate orientation. Maybe we could do a public comment, incorporate multiple public comments into it, maybe just one. And last but not least, we could do a collab with the INC committee to maybe provide a webinar. That this is the most effort task, but I think it would be good to have for senators, right?
That is your time.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. And now on to the technical questions. What is the difference between an operational request and an event request?
Okay, so the operational budget requests, they are basically tailored towards general body meetings, like GBMs, and then the event request is tailored for special events that an organization would request funding for.
All right, and your next question. What are the big 5 entities?
Student government, rec sports, rights, sorority fraternity affairs, and student activities and involvement.
All right, what requests do the budget committee hear?
Operational, travel, event, and line item.
All right, and when does student government's fiscal year begin and when does it end?
July 1st to June 30th.
All right, do you have any questions for us?
No, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Oh, okay. All right, would you all like to take a recess?
Sure.
And just to clarify, everyone here is open permanent. There's no replacements on this list.
No,
That would be after the next meeting.
interviewing for summer replacements begins at our next RG meeting.
Got it.
Yeah. All right. Just a reminder for deliberations, we'll do 3 for graduate, 3 for the sophomore seat, 3 for class, 3 for accounting, and then 3 for the budget seat. Just to kind of do it in order of interviews, if that makes sense for everybody.
Are we in a recess right now?
Not yet.
Oh, sorry.
Probably about, 10-15 minutes? 15?
Works for me.
I move to call us into a recess until 11:45, or until ordered back by the chair by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes. Do you mind pausing the meeting? I call this meeting back to order at 11:45 a.m. Could we do attendance?
Julia Seifert.
Catherine Isaacson.
I know, what can I do?
Then the chair, Blake Cox, is present. Will all others in the room please state your name?
Connor Ruffin.
Tyler Sklar.
Alright. Okay. Seeing that, we are now in line for deliberations. Starting with graduate, it will be 3 minutes to deliberate on the open graduate seat, starting now. Would anyone wish to speak?
I can start off first. I think Cassie Evans had an amazing interview. She talked about her experiences. Obviously, we signed before, but more importantly, encouraging people. I like the idea. She said that within the graduate school, there's so many different variations of graduate students, and understanding that everyone has a different story to share. Especially the emphasis on international or domestic students is a really big thing. As someone whose family comes from a national background as well, I think mentioning those things and highlighting those things for a lot of students gives them the voices. And again, her experience with the National Education Association as well. I just think I really enjoyed her interview, and I think she's really great.
I think, and at least from my hearing here, from what I imagine she elaborated on in her interview, she's been in Senate, has done a lot of work in Senate, has also been in the executive branch as well as leadership on GAU. I feel like that's a very well balanced realm of things to have been involved in that affect not only SG but also this constituency specifically. And I think this makes her a really great candidate for this role.
Anyone else wish to speak? Seeing none, we will move into the 3 minutes for the open sophomore seat. Wait, hold on. Let me get it up. Okay.
I can start as well. I really enjoyed Kate's interview. I think the idea of, first of all, entering community, they say a lot, entering community, make it better and leave it. But her idea specifically, I mean, as a propagator like mental health, I think the classified mental health, I like the sophomore slump idea. I think it was awesome. Just having that kind of ability to understand that, hey, constituents, especially second-year students who deal with a lot of mental health, maybe don't have the emphasis as a freshman, and don't have much of a break or support at school, having that. Also, I like that she mentioned on sophomore constituencies, like, she understood like freshmen and sophomores still on campus. That constituency consists of also freshmen, because I, for example, was at 60 credits my freshman year. Obviously the custodial staff on the weekend, like this is something I've talked with Ira about on Friday too. Like it is sometimes a bit tough, but I like the initiative, and I think that, you know, just that sentiment of love and expressing that's very, very impactful. And additionally, also we like the research skill aspect. She talked about how she does research and how that can help her kind of like articulate complex information through her writing and fundraising and so forth. And a lot of these experiences, I just overall thought she had a great application. I really enjoyed it.
I do also really like the custodial staff on the dorms, like, or weekend on dorms idea. I do think that was something that was interesting that does affect our constituency. I do think though about the sophomore slump mental health day. Mental health days have a history in the chamber of being very hard to implement, and a lot of different senators have tried it. And as far as I'm aware, this person was a senator not too long ago. I do think it's come up since their time in the chamber, and I do kind of think to just suggest that as an idea is just not very plausible. As someone who might have the experience to know that that might not be very plausible, but I did really like the custodial staff on the weekends idea. I did think that was cool.
Yeah. On how much time do I have? Sorry, to speak on Kate McNamara. I understand what you're saying about the mental health day specifically for sophomores. I feel like that is a little bit exclusionary, so that could probably be piggybacked onto everyone else's mental health day idea. But the thing that I liked the most about her interview was the increased support for sophomores. I don't know why, but every time we have people interview for sophomores and stuff, they tend to not suggest really specific ideas tailored to stuff that sophomores need, which is basically people who are pre-med, for example, who are sophomores, literally don't know that the MCAT is right around the corner. I did not know, was not prepared with my classes, so I thought that was really nice of her to keep in mind, which is why I'm a proponent for her for this seat as well.
I also do want to point out, how much time is left?
25 seconds.
Also, point of permission, can we move to extend time because we have more candidates than normal? Okay, I'll just talk until it's over, and then we can do that later. What was I gonna say? I also do want to point out that in their experience, when they were talking about having a lot of, experience with like codes changes, I think it was, and Robert's Rules of Orders and stuff. Personally, I couldn't remember any codes changes that this individual had written. I was like trying to like look, but I just didn't see it. I moved to extend deliberation on Okay. Yeah, because we have more candidates here too. On the sophomore seat. Sorry, I made it as consent.
There's been a motion to extend deliberations for the open sophomore seat for an additional minute by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
So basically, like, she didn't mention any of the specific code changes she'd written, just kind of like that she had done them or known how to do them. Okay. Also, strong connections with constituents and orgs on campus, and like elaborated on them, but didn't really say which ones or how. So I was kind of confused on like what that really meant. Also, I do want to elaborate on the candidate Rhea Pai. I thought she had a lot to offer. I thought she had a really good understanding of what sophomores need on campus. She also had some really interesting involvements leading up to this. And then I really liked that she talked about, things that came out of both sides of the aisle, like the Eagle On Here campaign and Marston. Just kind of, she mentioned like bipartisanship in her interview as well as having really good ideas.
Anyone else wishing to speak? Just about 15 seconds.
Okay. She had a good interview.
We are now on to 3 minutes for the open class seats, starting now.
So, I really like Jeff Fry's application. Specifically, starting out with kind of like what drew me into when he was speaking was, you mentioned being a server for Olive Garden. I think that's something experience-wise, like, other may overlook. When you need to anticipate the needs for the people you're serving, really something like you said, there's so many different changes on the floor happening, like the interests and needs for students change a lot on a daily basis, and I think having that kind of understanding that, okay, anything can happen, I have to be flexible. I really like that. I also really like the emphasis on diversity, inclusion, and cultural days for students. You mentioned like how there's DI initiatives in Florida right now. There's a lot going on with that. And for me, I'm a class student, and I think it's really nice that we have like people that at least recognize that stuff that's happening in Florida, and like we have to like address it, even if like there might be like backlash against it. Like we as students can address that. And also that the welcome event, I really like that idea. I know my freshman year, I literally knew no one. I went to convocation. I sat in the corner with myself, and it was actually like so like depressing because like I didn't know anyone. And I think having a welcome event, especially for class, which is the largest college we have, and like the whole idea of like alumni and like finding mentors, and so like I kind of like that. I like how it just seemed like a very inclusive kind of an interview, and I think that's something as senators you kind of have, especially in a college as large as a class. Yeah, that was just my.
So I do want to point out, and I do find this pretty concerning because, as far as I know, this person was a class senator like a week ago. The class welcome event already exists. It's called Convocation for Class, and it's a tabling event with many of the different departments. They give out free food, they give out merch, and it does happen every year to my knowledge. It possibly could happen every semester, but I'm not sure about that. But I do find it slightly concerning that this person has had these leadership roles in class and might not know about this. I do want to advocate for the candidate, Hana Ali. I mean, it's no secret that she's been very impactful in the chamber already. She spoke about that in her interview. She's authored some of our most impactful legislation, especially when it came to involving student organizations, which is something that a lot of applicants talked about. Similarly, also to another thing that was brought up about someone else, she talked about research and how that kind of helps her. I will admit there is a similar program to the mentor-mentee thing that she had written about, but I think also, what she described was slightly different, but I also do think that there are some things that people have brought up that I've been like, okay, it's, like, there are small discrepancies here, but it's okay that you don't know them. I do think with certain applicants, though, it's hard to extend that grace when they've held these exact roles that they're applying for previously, and she hasn't because she's an off-campus senator. I don't know. I just don't necessarily think. I do think she is the best candidate for this position due to
that was tough. Oh my gosh, I need to get a new time. All right, we are now on.
Oh, sorry. Did someone want to talk? Do you want to extend and talk?
It's fine. We don't need to extend. The only reason why I said it was fine to extend for sophomores because we had like
Many people.
a ton of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
Alright, we are now in line for 3 minutes to deliberate on the open accounting seat.
There was only one applicant, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, honestly, similar kind of sentiment. Obviously, the only applicant today, but he talked a lot of his diverse set of experiences. Being an RA, especially for 250 students, like that is something that is not like very underrated. Like that role is not appreciated enough. I think especially advocating for different programs, initiatives, those are the kind of things that hold a lot of like similar like parallels to Senate when you're advocating for your constituents. I also like the idea, he talked about NAPA, I don't know much about it, but about advocating for underrepresented and upcoming business leaders. I think it's a really, really big, like, when you're advocating for not just people that are capable and competent, but also people that are underrepresented, that's a really big thing. I liked his idea. He mentioned, I didn't know this, that accounting was a niche major with 600 students. I had no idea at all, and I like that. He said he wanted to bring in like alumni panels and workshop leaders and seminars and connect them with more like government organizations and clubs, more guidelines, and help this upcoming generation of leaders. I really like that. And he mentioned about like a lot of the organizations, the limited amount of clubs in accounting. He wants to work alongside the budget committee to teach them how to do SAR to properly like fund. And I think that as a senator, like even if you're not specifically on the budget committee, like you can work with senators and reach out to like Chair Rodriguez, for example, and like ask information so you can liaise with your constituents. And I think that's something that I like, not to take too much time for this weekend, but those kind of things that I like. Yeah.
I was just gonna echo Senate President Vijay Raghavan's sentiments, and you can like tell he just like really cares about accounting and is very passionate about it and is very knowledgeable about it, and like truly like he can be an amazing representative because he cares about it so much, and he also has so many different connections within his school to just be like an all-around great representative.
Yeah, agreed. I think he was a great candidate, and I think he really showed that in his interview and his application.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Seeing that, we are now in line for 3 minutes of deliberation on the open budget and appropriations committee seat.
Okay. I think Senator Islam did a great job. I mean, he answered all technical questions right. And then I do want to say one thing that I really like that he talked about in his budget interview that I do think has set him apart from several applications that we've seen is I really liked how he stressed that literally senators themselves don't really understand how the budget process works, and that it would be very helpful for actual senators to undergo these same workshops that, you know, we try to promote to like student organizations and that kind of thing. And I do think, actually, I've thought about that myself, being like it's sometimes when people come to me for help, even my constituents in Beatty will come to me for help because their student org needs help on how to apply for things. I'm like, you know what, I don't actually really know. And I thought that was a very good point that he brought up on top of talking about how we can help student orgs. Like I was reading his application with the whole liaison concept, that kind of thing. Talking about promoting synergy, working with the team. Obviously, yes to the technical questions. I thought he did a great job.
Anyone else wishing to speak?
Yeah, to be honest, I wanted to hear more about his webinar idea with the INC collaboration, just because I think that has a lot of potential, but he didn't say as much about that in his actual application. His interview was good, and I do agree that senators should know what's going on in budget, but if you look at his application, I don't know, I just felt like it was lacking, and there could have been a ton more elaboration on all of the questions. So I would be inclined to table this position and tell the applicant to come back next week or whenever.
Well, I do think at least for the first two questions, he did elaborate a lot in his actual interview, which from what it kind of looks, he says that he would do that. I know that he did run out of time when it came to the webinar idea, but from what he did say, and then from reading this, it seemed like he would try to work with INC to set up a webinar. He said, this is from what he said, to work with INC to create a webinar for budget information for senators. And I thought, I'm trying to compare this to, yeah, he said it would be for senators, and that's why I was really interested, because I thought that was really interesting that he does bring up a very good point that even senators don't know how this works. And just having like something out there for them to reference, especially when we are talking to our constituents, I think that's a great idea. I do agree that he could have elaborated on it more, and the time constraint does suck. But I don't think his application was lacking, especially because he elaborated on a good chunk of it if not almost all of it, in his actual interview.
Yeah, I take that back for question 1. He does say I will stay more in the interview. But Manish?
I was just gonna say kind of similar thing. I really enjoyed the interview, but I do think I just wish some elaboration.
I think that is do I hear any motions at this time?
I have a motion.
Yes.
Okay. I move to approve Marquise Veal for the open accounting seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Veal for the open accounting seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay.
Follow?
Follow up. I move to approve Kate McNamara for the open class seat by unanimous consent.
Class or sophomore?
Was she not for class?
It was sophomore.
She
Oh.
was sophomore.
For the open sophomore seat then, sorry.
There's been a motion to approve Kate McNamara for the open sophomore seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? There's been an objection, so that motion does not pass.
Okay, I remake that motion not by unanimous consent.
The motion has been remade. Sorry. I'm working. Alright, there's been a motion to approve Kate McNamara for the open sophomore seat. I'll just call roll kind of in order. Cipher,
Yes.
BJ Raghavan,
Yes.
Isaacson,
Yes.
Naidu.
It's fine, yes.
Alright, I will abstain.
Okay.
In a vote of 4 to 0 to 1, that motion passes.
Okay, follow up?
Follow up?
Yes, I move to approve Jack Fry for the open class seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Jack Fry for the open class seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections?
I object.
Okay, I remake that motion not by unanimous consent.
Alright, I will call, there's been a motion to approve Jack Fry for the open class seat. I will read roll in order, and you will please verbally say your vote. Cipher,
Yes.
BJ Raghavan,
Yes.
Isaacson,
Yes.
Naidu.
No.
I will abstain in a vote of 3 to 1 to 1. That motion passes.
Okay, I move to table the open budget and appropriation seat by unanimous consent.
I'll object.
Okay, I remake that motion.
Alright. There's been a motion to table the open budget and appropriation seat. I'll read roll call in order. Cipher,
Yes.
BJ Raghavan,
Yes.
Isaacson,
Yes.
Naidu.
No.
I will abstain in a vote of 3 to 1 to 1. That motion passes.
Okay, I have a follow-up.
Follow up?
Yes, I move to approve Cassie Urbans for the open graduate seat by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to approve Urbans for the open graduate seat by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay.
So that is everyone. Cool. Alright. Agenda items now.
Okay, I move to add all of the executive and judicial nominations to the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add all exec and judicial nominations to the agenda by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay, follow up.
Follow up.
I move to hear all the associate justices as a block by unanimous consent. Okay.
There was a motion to hear all associate justices as a block by unanimous consent. That motion was objected to.
Okay. I move to add all of the approved and failed absences heard by the Rules and Ethics Committee to the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add all approved and failed absences from the Rules and Ethics Committee under Rules and Ethics by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
I move to make a special rule to hear and vote on all of the absences as a block by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add a special rule to hear all approved and failed absences as a block by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay, follow up. I move to add all of the bills approved by Budget and Judiciary this week to bills under first reading by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add all approved legislation by the Budget and Judiciary Committee to the agenda this week under first readings by unanimous consent. Are there any objections?
Point of information.
Yes.
Is this gonna include, like, You know, last time there was a whole issue of like, okay, well, we didn't add it, they got it with after, like, is this gonna include those?
Yeah, so,
Okay.
the issue with that was because the codes mandate, I sent out the agenda by 3, and their meeting adjourned at like 3, like, I got the email with all the bills at 3:05.
Okay.
So there was really no way I could have, like, put them on the agenda.
Yeah.
So, like, as long as Aaron or Chairman Rubai sends me all the bills by, like, 2 tomorrow, we should be good, which
Okay.
I figure will happen.
Follow up, when are they meeting again, just refresh my memory?
I like 1 today or something.
Okay, yeah, it doesn't, okay.
Judiciary.
Yeah, I don't object, I wasn't gonna, but anyway. You can send me with them.
There was, alright,
It's at noon. It's now.
it just started, okay.
Okay.
Any other motions?
Yes, I have a follow-up.
Yep.
I move to add all of the necessary bills to their respective places under second and third readings by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add all applicable legislation from last week into second readings by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
I move to point of information. Do we know what the order typically is for? Is it approving and then everything under first reading and everything under second and third?
Wait, what is the question?
Like
the order of the agenda?
The order of the agenda. Is it approving open seats and then
Yeah, replacement
executive and then
agenda.
judicial?
So, the order it'll be is likely, it'll depend on quorum. If, I need to check to see if the court has quorum. If they do, like judicial won't be at the top, but if they don't have quorum, which I'm not sure if they do or not, judicial will be at the top. But
Wait,
there's no
what?
set. Okay, it goes RNA recommendations and then bills. Was that what you were trying to ask?
Well,
Or were you
I
trying to
know,
ask the
I know
specific
that,
order
but within
under
RNA, yeah, within RNA record.
It'll be, the tentative plan is legislative nominations, executive nominations, judicial nominations. But if the court can't meet quorum, it might get moved to the front, but I need to check.
Oh,
Is
that's
Just because
valid.
we tend to prioritize that quorum.
So,
That's valid.
quick question.
Mhm.
Are we allowed to place committee reports before our committee recommendations this time, just so that
We can.
Chairman Rubai can at least get the legislative workshop done, then we can go into debate if needed or something like that?
That is a
So
motion
is
that
this-
can be made.
Okay.
Would everyone be okay with that? I wanna ask. If not, we can just go.
Yeah, I mean, he has to.
Yeah. So I make a motion to move committee reports prior to replacement agenda committee recommendations by unanimous consent. This again is because Chairman Rubai needs to give us a workshop.
Yeah. No, I totally
I just wanna make sure.
Are you, you're moving all of them up or just?
Just.
All
oh,
of them. Just move all of
Just
them.
all of them.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
do it, yeah, and that'll come after my report.
Okay.
VJ Rockavon moved to move replacement and agenda recommendations after committee reports by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay. I move to make a block of all of the open seats by unanimous consent.
All of the what?
Sophomore class,
Oh, all
accounting
the open
grad.
seats, right.
Yes.
There's been a motion to add a special rule to
Hear
hear
and
all
vote on.
open, permanent, RNA permanent seat RNA recommendations as a block by unanimous consent. Are there any objections?
Okay.
There's been an objection.
I remake that motion.
Motion has been remade. I'll just call order. Cipher.
Yes.
BJ Raghavan.
Yes.
Isaacson.
Yes.
Naidu.
No.
I will abstain in a vote of 3 to 1 to 1. That motion passes.
Okay.
So point of information, do we have to specify for like, for example, executive nominations, like if we wanna get like executive secretaries and blah, something like that?
You could, yeah, that could be done.
Okay, I just wanted to know. if that-
Yeah. So, okay. I move to hear all executive secretary nominations as a block by unanimous consent.
You said executive secretaries?
Yes.
Information, what does that monkey like mean? I don't, it's not really our, it doesn't, okay.
Here, wait. Wait, what does what? Executive
The executive secretary is like, who is that per agency head? Is that per like?
No, so
or
executive-
Just for the executive board, like.
Yes,
three?
so executive secretaries, they serve, from my understanding, they serve under the executive branch and they typically have a specialized role, so like.
satellite camps.
Yeah, like satellite affairs.
I
Their
know,
role is working
yeah.
with, like, and they work pretty much directly with like the deputy chief of staff, I
Gotcha.
believe.
I know the
Um,
finance one from last year did all of those Wells Fargo workshops. So I think it's like
They
event
typically
based.
have
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Follow up.
Sorry, there,
You're good.
there's been a motion to add a special rule to hear all executive secretary nominations as a block by unanimous consent. Are there objections? Hearing none, that motion passes.
Okay. I move to hear all. I forgot what we said. Did we say cabinet block?
Cabinet.
Yes, that was.
Yeah.
Cabinet could be.
Okay. I move to hear and vote on all of the cabinet nominations as a block by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to add a special rule to hear all cabinet nominations as a block by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Okay.
Anyone want to set the date and time?
Yeah. I follow up. I move to set the date and time of the next Senate meeting to 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, April 23rd, in the Rights Union Senate Chamber by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to set the time and date of Senate to Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024 at 7:30 p.m. in the Rights Union Senate Chambers by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, the motion passes.
Are we good to set the agenda? All good?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I move
We
to.
added all the budget was very absences, obviously.
Everything from every committee.
Those two, the
Including ours.
blocks of the
Those
cabinet
are
and
remaining.
the executive
The
secretary.
committee reports.
Yeah.
No, I think we're good.
Sounds good. Okay. I move to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent.
There's been a motion to adopt the agenda by unanimous consent. Are there any objections? Hearing none, that motion passes. I will adjourn this meeting at 12:12 p.m.
Too good.
Real quick.
Okay.
So